Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm your host, Alex Whiteley. And joining me today, do you want to introduce yourself and what it is you do?
Yeah, so I'm Anna from the House of Beauty in Shrewsbury. New beauty salon opening in Frankwell.
Nice.
The business itself has been running for many years, but under a different name and from a different premises. So it's all very new to Shrewsbury. Creating something a little bit different is what I'm trying to do.
Nice. Is the brow bar? Is that or was
the
that what
brows,
it was?
Well, the brows are what I specialise in.
Oh, okay. Nice.
But it's all beauty.
Nice.
So it covers everything from brows, lashes, nails, more of the holistic treatments like massage, facials, hot stones, that sort of thing.
Oh, wow.
The House of Beauty will be what it says, a house of beauty. It will cover everything.
Oh, that's really refreshing to hear because, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice to have a niche. I mean, we spoke to Manola Moss upstairs. She's amazing.
Absolutely.
I love her to bits. So it's nice to have a niche, but it's also great to have a place where you can go and you know you're going to have whatever you need under one building, right? So
that's it. Yeah. I mean, I specialise in eyebrows. Wasn't planned that way. It just kind of evolved that way over the years. Yeah. But I've got two girls joining me at the House of Beauty in Frankwell who are beauticians, level 3 beauticians. So between the three of us, we will all have our niches. So we'll all have everything covered.
Specific departments.
Absolutely, yeah.
Nice. Oh, that's cool. You're opening a business just out of the pandemic and what lockdown was, things like that.
I know.
Has that created quite a bit of demand? Because I remember speaking to Manola had a terrible run of things, along with a lot of people that had tattoo studios.
It was tough, really tough.
All these things,
Yeah.
And then Boris was like, you're not opening.
You're not opening. Yeah.
So for some of you opening a brand new business, has it created quite a buzz?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've got my existing client base already for myself. And I've got fantastic, very loyal customers, which I'm very, very thankful for, particularly obviously in the current situation with the lockdown. I chose to close my business about 2 or 3 days before we actually went into lockdown. Mm-hmm. I just felt that it was the right thing to do. I was working so closely to people. I didn't think continuing for myself or my clients was particularly safe. So I decided, before Boris did, to shut up shop, which was a really tough decision. I cried for hours before I decided to do it, because it's my little business that I've built up over so many years, and the thought of shutting it, to me, felt like that was the end. But no, made that decision, and obviously, like everybody else, got thrown into the new way of life. Did lots of baking with my daughter, gardening.
Learning new things.
Yeah. But no, coming out of it, I've been very fortunate again with my clients. They've all supported me and they've all come back and they've been very pleased to see me. We've had lots of very big, full, bushy brows to deal with, which has been great fun. So yeah, it's been positive. Lots of new clients as well. I think people have come out of lockdown and felt a sense of wanting to do something nice to make themselves feel better, even if they're not particularly going anywhere. I think everyone's just feeling a bit fed up. Because
when you think about not just lockdown, I mean the social distancing, not going out as much, it makes you, if you are the type of person that's going to put a lot of maintenance into yourself, and you weren't able to. One, I guess it might liberate you from that in certain circumstances, but there's also people that really die for that. They need to look after themselves, and it's all a part of self-healing, isn't it? It's all about feeling good about yourself. Yeah,
definitely. Everybody has got their own thing that they're into, whether it's how they look or a hobby they've got. Everyone's got something that maybe they've not been able to do during lockdown, and coming out of it and being able to do that. Clients have been so pleased. The faces of my clients says it all. After they've had their treatment, they're so relieved to have had it done, which to some people will sound completely ridiculous. What's all that about? But to these women, it's very real. They feel so much better when they've had those treatments done.
There's been a lot of pressure for some people, especially people that have been working at home whilst dealing with the kids. People have their routines as well.
Yeah.
Guy does a really hard job Monday to Friday, really struggling, but looks forward to, I don't know, a massage every 2 weeks, and it's not available, and that's added a lot of stress. Silly little things like that. I mean, like it comes to the silly facts of life and the silly things we do. Those little things actually make things bearable, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm glad you've managed to come out of that and come up with something good and big, and something that you seem quite proud of. You're working on it now. You've been painting today.
Yeah, been painting, been stuck in there for the last 2 weeks now. So we're just renovating it all, and got the first coat of paint on the walls today, which was good, because we could see something. All the other work's been really dirty work, building walls, making new treatment rooms, and didn't really see much difference. Whereas now we've got the first coat of paint on, you can see a real difference.
Yeah.
So it's very exciting.
Where in Frankwell is it?
We are just over the bridge, just after Little Borough kebab shop.
Okay.
Then you've got the Darwin Centre, and then that will be us next door. Previously was Pulse, a hairdresser's, for 15 years. The lady that had it was there 15 years. So a long established business has been there previously, so hopefully we will continue that trend.
And there's been, like, we spoke about buzz, but the feedback on sort of social media, things like that, there's a lot of excitement.
At the minute I've kept it quite on the lowdown on social media. It's about to pop on social media over the next sort of coming days. But we've kept it quite on the lowdown. We've put all blackout window things up with a message on the window which says "Hello, beautiful." But nobody can kind of see what's going on inside. But hopefully that's certainly, quite a few people have stopped and asked what we're doing and what's going there and things. So there's been quite a bit of interest. I've been doing quite a lot on my personal social media, on my stories.
Yes.
Creating interest. It's amazing, by posting just the most ridiculous little picture, how many people, clients and friends of friends have messaged me saying, what are you up to? What are you doing? So it's working, because it's creating that curiosity with people. But lots more to come on the social media side.
Good. I like that. That's cool. Dee's just left. We just did an interview with Dean Akin, who's a poet. She had to go for a parking. So she sent me some questions by proxy. Now, I thought this is really important to get some questions from Dee, because I'm a bloke, and there's only certain things I understand. But I will circle back to that in a second. So she says, what do you think of these eyebrow trends? And these mean nothing to me, but she says, plaited eyebrows. What are your thoughts on plaited?
Not one for me.
No.
I've never been asked for that one yet. I can't see that I would be asked to do that, but
upward brushed eyebrows.
Yeah, that's quite a new thing. That's the brow lamination treatment. I'm trained. I've recently just done some more training with HD, which is the brand that I work with, on the brow sculpt treatment, which is a lamination treatment, which creates exactly that, the brushed up fluffy brow. Very, very on trend, particularly with the youngsters. But interestingly, the actual treatment, the brow sculpt, can be used as a corrective treatment. So it doesn't just create that fluffy look. It also can be used to correct scars or patchy bits in the brows. If people have got very sparse, thin brows, you can create a fuller brow. So you have to be a bit careful with using the word lamination, because everyone assumes it's big, fluffy, brushed up brows, but there is another side to it, which I've discovered, which is great for people that've got really difficult brows to sort of manage.
Yeah, Dee mentioned Cara Delevingne.
Yes, very famous brows.
Yeah, very famous brows. Oh, that name, Cara. She ruined Suicide Squad for me. Sorry, anyway. But she mentioned henna. Did you use henna?
Yes, do the henna brows. Again, that's a way of colouring the brows, the hair on the brows, but it also tints the skin behind. So if somebody wants a more fuller brow where they're not having to fill it in, then the henna is a really, really good treatment, and that is something that we offer as well. So you'd be amazed how many brow treatments there are. It's quite ridiculous how many brow treatments there are.
I imagine. We were talking about trends before she went out, you know, sort of like in the 90s, 80s, 90s, people used to have these pencil thin eyebrows.
Tiny.
And up until recently, you had girls with these painted on big slug eyebrows.
Yeah.
And where does that all come from? Where do you get the trends from for that?
I have no idea. Probably...
See Kim Kardashian with it once.
Some celebrity somewhere will have done it, and then that's it. Everyone follows. But it's quite interesting when you go back and look at the history of brows, because if you, obviously, like you just said there about the really sort of skinny brows in the 90s, I had those. I've got photos of me in my 20s, and I think, crikey. But if you go further back, brows, there was a time where the brows were really thick and quite full. Okay. And then go further back again, they go really thin. So it kind of all seems to come back round. So at some point, I guarantee they will go thin again. They will. It'll come back round.
Something different. Yeah. I mean, okay. So I spend even though I've got this big bushy beard at the moment, I spend a lot of time on my appearance. So like my eyebrows, I do actually shave. I shave them because when you see old guys with these really bushy eyebrows and they like curl round into their eyes and things, I'm kind of like, that drives me crazy because I like to keep my eye area anyway, because my eyelashes are so long they kind of barb in, so I have to look after all that area. Do you see a lot more guys at the moment coming? Because I know there's a lot of guys that look after their appearance now. It seems to be becoming more of a trend. Coming to salons like yours, like what yours is going to be. Do
you know what? I have a few guys, but not very many.
Okay.
And it's a real shame because I know in the big cities, there's loads of guys going in to have brow treatments done. But I do feel that perhaps the guys maybe around Shrewsbury perhaps are a bit embarrassed to come into the salons.
Yes, Dee said that.
I think maybe that when they go to the barbers will say, do you want me to trim your brows? And they'll just go whoosh.
I do.
So I think, I don't know. I think maybe... perhaps they're just a bit embarrassed, but they shouldn't be. No. Because, you know, one of the things that I'm trying to do with the new salon is sort of create the fact that beauty is for everybody. You know, everybody deserves to feel beautiful, whatever that might be, whether it's having a treatment or coming and having a chat, you know, everybody needs to feel beautiful about themselves. And obviously guys are included in that. So it'd be nice to see more guys coming in.
Well, in the era of sort of Snapchat, Instagram, you know, everybody's taking pictures and selfies, and you know, it's important for a lot of people to look good on that, especially if you're an influencer of some sorts, you know. So maybe that's a push. So guys, if there's any guys listening to this, I'm not even, I'm being serious. Like if it makes you feel good, you know, looking after your appearance, make sure you check out your beauty salons around you, you know, because no one's gonna. I don't think anybody cares anymore today. 2020 has been that kind of year. People just, if California's on fire, nobody cares about you going to get your eyebrows done.
Absolutely, just do what makes you happy.
So what have you got coming in your style? So you mentioned a few things that you got coming to your salon. What are notable features that you would like to tell listeners about what's going on?
In terms of treatments? Or...
Yeah. What have you got that you think is going to be popping? Like, you know.
Well, the brows are a massive big thing.
Yes.
Obviously, they are a big part of my business. They probably make up about 80% of my business, which is crazy. So the brows will continue, and obviously now with the HD brow sculpt, lamination treatment, and the henna brows, that's just going to grow the brow side of things. But then I think nails are always very popular. The two girls that are coming to work with me, they're both trained with Glitter Bells, which is a really good brand that do the acrylic nails. We do the OPI gel polish nails. So nails will always be a big thing. But again, the facials, I think facials and massage, more of the holistic side of treatments. I think lots of people, particularly at the moment, need that bit of time out. Just come in, quiet space, be able to switch off, completely relax, and you know, just shut their eyes and not have to worry about what's going on outside. So
I always remember the first time I went for a massage. It's a funny thing because apart from my wife, you know, I'm not comfortable taking my clothes off in front of people and stuff like that. But within 5 seconds of having a massage, you kind of just forget. It's just like, oh, okay.
Because I mean, any therapist will put you at ease, hopefully, so that you're comfortable. And once you're having the treatment, you just completely relax, and it's a nice facials are probably one of my favourite like relaxation treatments for me personally, because I don't know, you don't go around sort of rubbing your own face, do you?
No.
So to have somebody else, you know, doing that with all the different lotions and potions and things, for me, I find really relaxing.
One of my routines for the morning is when I go in the shower, I kind of face up in the shower, close my eyes, and just zone out and just think about the water sort of just hitting my face and feeling it, like, you know what I mean, the pressure on my face.
Yeah.
It's a really nice way for me to just start my day.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess a facial massage is that on a bigger scale, you know, sort of just
And there are other benefits to having facials other than the relaxation.
Skin,
you know, if you've got problematic skin or aging skin, you know, anything, you know, then the facials can really help. There's lots of different you know, products that can be used to sort of encourage good skin. And I think as you obviously get slightly older, you start to appreciate how good your skin was when you were younger and want to try and keep it that way.
I was lucky. I looked like 12 when I was in my 20s, so I don't think it's caught up just now. I mean, with a beard, I look about 40. When I shave it off, I do look a lot younger. You sound like a real, like, you're busy. You like to get your hands on, and with this especially, you know. What was it like for lockdown for you? Not having that ability just to do business,
to crack on. Well, like everybody, lockdown was tough. I think the one thing that I enjoyed about lockdown was the peace and quiet. And I don't mean in the house, because that was definitely not peaceful and quiet, but outside, you know, I'd go and walk the dogs, and it reminded me of life when I was a kid, because there was hardly any traffic. Everywhere was quiet, peaceful. And I actually said to my husband, this is like it used to be when we were younger. And I did like that side of it. And I do hope that everybody takes a little bit of something from the lockdown and realises that, you know, we're all too busy. We're all just running around like idiots all the time. And just slow down, take a break, take a breath. It was lovely to spend time with my daughter, doing those things like baking and gardening and painting fences and just making TikToks. That was a new one for me. That was an experience.
Yeah, I mean, with the USUC side of the podcasting things I do, with Jamie Westwood, who works with my team, he started a USUC TikTok, and I was like, no, it's not happening. I'm sorry. So he's got hold of that. I'm not taking hold of it.
Yeah. It was fun. It was. You just make the most of it, don't you?
Yeah.
It was a horrible situation for everybody, but the most important thing for me was making sure that my family was obviously safe and well. And if we could come out of it knowing that everyone was still safe and well, well, that was good. Everything else kind of was a bit irrelevant.
Can I, when I talk about Frankwell, I remember when I first started, and I was giving my cards out, I went around Frankwell, and there's a lot of people in Frankwell back then, I don't know if it's changed, that feel a little bit separated from town. You know, they're sort of like, they're kind of forgotten about, I guess.
I think it's definitely got its own community.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm still new. I haven't kind of introduced myself to the shops around the area as yet. I will be doing that, obviously. But I do think that it's got a really good community spirit.
Yes.
And there's some fantastic little shops in Frankwell now. You know, some really good places to go. A cracking new bar that's opened. So it's got a good vibe. But I do think it's slightly out of town, even though it's in town.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's its own little area.
It's its own little hub of. I mean, you've got the theatre, you've got the pubs around there, which is great.
Yeah.
The Seven Social is just amazing. I love that place.
Yeah. Well, they've just done all the
flamingo looks amazing.
The
garden at the back.
I can't think what it's called now, but yeah, I have had a look in it and it is amazing. It looks great.
That's good thought, actually. I've got my whole podcasting team from across the country all coming up next week. There'll be 6 of us, of course. I'm trying to organise a night out, so Seven Social will be great. Do you work well? I mean, you say you've got a lot of experience. Do you work well with other beauticians and salons around Shrewsbury? Do you all communicate together? Or
yeah. Do you know what? There's a really, really good vibe between beauticians, nail technicians, hairdressers, certainly the ones that I've come into contact with. There's plenty of business out there for everybody. So I've certainly not come across any sort of negative nastiness with any other beautician or, as I say, anybody in hairdressing or whatever it may be, beauty related. In fact, a friend of mine, she's a nail technician, and she's recently opened a social media page that's purely for nail technicians around Shropshire. And it's great because we've all gone on there. Everyone has a chat. If someone's got an issue about a particular thing, they can ask, other like-minded people in the trade. So, no, I think generally it's a really nice-spirited
we've got 2 eyelash extension salons upstairs next door to each other, working in harmony.
Exactly, because there is plenty of business, and everyone's got their own clients, and they all look after their own clients. And I think with beauty, very much like hair, when you get a client, if you're good at your treatments and you look after your customers, they will be very loyal. They won't let anybody else touch their eyebrows, do their nails, give them a massage, do their waxing, because they trust you. And you've got to have that trust. And it's the same with hairdressers. And, I've got ladies that come all the way from Wolverhampton. I've got a lady that comes from just outside Coventry, a lady from Chester, and they come to me for their brows. They could go and get their brows done more local, obviously, but they won't, because they've come to me for so long. They want to continue to come to me, which is brilliant for me. But yeah, it's that loyalty, which is nice.
Tom Stevens, who's another guy I work with, has got a really big, impressive beard, and I'm kind of growing mine out a bit. And I was like, I need to find places to go and get edged and stuff so I don't look like a bum. And he was like, there's this place in Sheffield, apparently, that people literally travel from all over the country to go to.
Wow.
Just to get their beards done. And I was like, people travel from, and he's like, genuinely, they come from all over the place. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to Sheffield to get my beard trimmed. But and the same with my little boy. We were around barbers loads. We were looking for the good one, the one that will because my little boy's good anyway, but just do a good cut, and we found the place on Mardle, and it's really nice, and we go there all the time now. We don't go anywhere else. And you're right,
the Turkish one.
Yeah. Halfway down Mardle on the left, as you go down.
Yeah.
It was. It's nice to have that faith in someone that they're going to do a good job, and I'm glad you got that.
Yeah.
Have you had lots of new interest in what you can? Because you say you do eyebrows. You've got other people doing different things as well. Has that attracted new people to you?
Yeah. Well, as I say, at the minute it's all kind of a bit under the radar.
Yeah.
So we haven't kind of officially told everybody.
I bet you can't wait though.
Oh no, I can't wait. Yeah, no, I can't wait to sort of put it out there properly. But in terms of even coming out of lockdown, for myself with eyebrows, I've had a lot of new business since we came out of lockdown. And again, I think, like I said to you at the start, it's people want to do something to make themselves feel good.
Yeah, well, come with me. I know someone that does great eyebrows. Come with me. She'll look after you. That sort of thing. Yeah, I imagine.
But the whole thing with the new salon is I wanted to create a space that didn't look like every other beauty salon or hairdressers.
Okay, that's interesting.
I wanted it to be a little bit different, and somewhere that when people walk in, as soon as they walk in, they get there's a nice smell as soon as the doors open. There's nice music playing. It's all very relaxed. They get a nice welcome. Obviously, when COVID decides to go away, they can have a nice coffee. So the whole experience, it's not just about coming in and having a treatment. Whether someone's coming in for a quick eyebrow shape or whether they're coming in for a massage or pedicure or waxing, I want them all to have that sense of well-being when they leave, and that they've been in and they've had a lovely time, nice experience, feel relaxed, and that when they leave they feel good. And that's what I'm trying to create, because I think sometimes you go into places and they're very busy, they're very loud, which
bright lights,
some people might like that.
Yeah.
So, don't get me wrong, some people might love that might be their thing. They want to go somewhere that's a little bit louder, a little bit more funky. But I think for me, I wanted to create a bit of a kind of safe haven, if you like, just somewhere really peaceful and nice for people to come and enjoy their treatments.
I stumbled across something a couple of weeks ago. I gave my mum. Oh my god! I gave my wife some money to go and get her hair done, and so she did. She doesn't get her hair done very often, which is her choice. But I was like, go and do something nice, make me feel good about yourself. And she's like, I hope the barber doesn't, the hairdresser doesn't speak too much to me. And I was like, oh, okay, so and I've seen it come up on Facebook. It's weird how my wife mentioned it, and apparently there's a place, a meme of a silent barber, because people feel awkward about having these conversations.
Yeah, I think you know what, you've got to judge your clients.
Yeah,
they're all different, and I've said this to the girls that are coming to work with me. The two girls that are coming they're 18, so they're quite young. They are very well qualified. They've both got experience working in spas and beauty salons already, so they're experienced in that sense. But in terms of life experience, well, they're only young. So one of the things that we've talked about before the opening is how to be with your clients, because I think that is just as important as the quality of the treatment.
Yes.
If you're being treated by a therapist who feels a little bit awkward, or they don't know what to say, or they say too much and they won't shut up, that can totally ruin that experience for your client. So you've got to be able to judge each one on their own merit. Some of my clients love coming in and having a chat, and that was one of the hardest things for them in lockdown. We didn't have those chats. So I was actually ringing them and messaging them so that we could still communicate, because people, they, after years of doing treatments for some of my clients, you really get to know them. Their family. They can come in and just offload if they've had a stressful day, or if they've got something exciting to tell you. So it's knowing when to have those sort of conversations, and also when you've got a client who literally just wants to come in, be quiet, shut their eyes and switch off. I've got one lady that comes once a month or so for a certain lash treatment that I do, and it involves sitting in the chair with their eyes shut. It's not individual lashes, it's a treatment to your natural lashes. But you're in the chair for about 45 minutes to an hour with your eyes shut. And she said she comes, A, because she loves the treatment, but also because it's her time where she can just shut her eyes and be quiet, and nobody will interrupt her.
Nice.
And that's one of her reasons for coming. So,
everyone's individual, aren't they?
Yeah, completely.
And it's brilliant that you got that. Because it's like when you get in a taxi, you've had a good shift, mate. You got long left. It's those mundane conversations.
I think as well, for some women and guys, going into a beauty salon or hairdressers can sometimes feel quite intimidating.
Yeah,
I think, and I felt it myself going into places over the years. You tend to be faced with lots of younger looking people who are quite funkily dressed, and quite often people will feel a bit like, I don't quite really feel comfortable, don't fit in here. And again, what I'm creating is a space where everyone will feel welcome, regardless of age, gender, anything. Creating that, to me, is as important as being good at my treatments. So.
And I think that's really important, because I've got to say, guys, if you listen to this and you know, I had a manicure and a pedicure. I went to stay with my wife's family in Colombia, and they have somebody come around the house and they do manicures and pedicures, and they're like, "Come on, Alex, you can go now." And I was like, "Okay, I've never had it done before, but it's actually really nice when you've had them done." Well, afterwards, I was just kind of like, "Oh my god, I've never realised you could like moisturise your nails and have it all feeling like really nice and all that." And it was actually really, really refreshing. So give it a try. Might make you feel good. When are you opening? When?
Well, I'm not putting a date specific on it, just because of tradesmen and things like that. I don't want to jinx anything. So what I've said to my existing clients, obviously I've told them sort of what's happening, is I am aiming for the 9th or 10th of October.
Okay.
So mid-October. But again, it's a 16th century grade 2 star listed building that we're working with. Things that we've uncovered, that we weren't expecting to uncover. have then created, more work that needs to be done, and simple things like you would have thought putting new spotlights into the treatment room, because we've had to create a complete new treatment room, soundproof it all off. You'd think that would be quite a simple thing, but in a 16th century building, it's not very simple because the wiring's all over the place. But it's a beautiful building, absolutely beautiful building.
Oh, fantastic! We'll have to come and have a massage or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Come down and definitely really come down.
Well, I think an important point as well is when it comes to writing a sort of business plan post-COVID. I mean, so you've done this for a while, so I guess you've written a business plan before COVID and post-COVID. Do you have to take into account the social distancing when it comes to the money?
Yeah, very much so. Obviously, in beauty, hygiene has always been a massive thing.
Yes.
It's part of our training, so we're fully aware of sort of cross-contamination, infections, that sort of thing. But now with COVID, in terms of social distancing, because you obviously have to keep that distance between clients during treatments,
you can't get as many people in.
Yeah, you can't get as many people in, so you're limited on that side of it. But what I've tried to do, and when people come in, they will see this, I've tried to create a space that's safe, that's COVID secure, in terms of having the barricades or the shields up between clients, but I've done it in a way that it doesn't look ugly. Okay. So I've incorporated that into the actual styling and dressing out of the salon, so they're not ugly.
Nice.
People won't even notice they're there.
Nice.
But it will make it obviously secure for people.
Well, I wish you the best of luck with this. It really does sound great, and I am shame. It's a shame Dee couldn't be here because she's literally just left. She saw her on her way out. But would you like to tell our listeners the name of your business and how they can find you?
Yeah, so the business is called The House of Beauty in Frankwell, so 6A Frankwell. We are on Facebook, which is The House of Beauty Shrewsbury. We are on Instagram, The House of Beauty Shrewsbury. We're on Twitter, House of Beauty Shrewsbury. Our hangar is Thob Shrewsbury, so capital THOB and then lowercase Shrewsbury. Everybody come and see us. Just come past and say hi and have a little look through the window. We've got some fantastic offers, obviously, for our opening in October. Some really, really good offers. So hopefully try and encourage some new people in. And, hopefully some guys might come in too. We have actually got a male grooming section on the website, which is www.thehouseofshrewsbury.co.uk. It'd be great to see some guys coming down.
Yeah. I might take Shane. He could probably do some relaxing massages. Shout out to you, Shane. You've been amazing to talk to. We've just been speaking to Jean about poetry, and then we've just gone to eyebrows and beauty. I love the fact that we can just talk about anything on this show. Yeah. It's a testament to what we do. You've been awesome. Thank you so much for chatting to me.
Thank you very much.
And listeners, make sure you check out our website too, because all of our audio is available on there. There's a whole back catalogue of the amazing shows we've put together. Our website is at the www.theshrewsburybiscuitpodcast.co.uk, and that is lovingly made for us by our friends at Web Orchard. If you need a website, make sure you check out Web Orchard. They're working on a new one for us as well for USUC, which is great. Thanks, guys, for that. That's awesome. And this episode has been recorded at the Parade Shopping Centre, and make sure you come and check it out. There's lots of new changes coming here. The place looks beautiful. They've got the Riverview Cafe at the back there with one of the most spectacular views in Shrewsbury. If you want to sit out there and have a cup of coffee and a piece of cake, it's really cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Peace out.